Hey there, sheepdoggers, and welcome to a channel update video type thing. I'm honestly not sure how to classify this and what I'm going to title it or anything like that. All I know is that here is footage of the culling. Aren't you happy? This is just kind of like a general channel update, talking about stuff. I'll try to let you see the whole of this footage because it's actually a pretty good match. I'd advise you to watch through all of it. I may cut out a few bits to fit the amount of time I talk on my voice part, but yeah, it's worth watching. So watch it, or don't, up to you. Yeah, it's been a slow time for my channel basically, and you know, as is the case, I'm always hesitant to talk about these things because I don't want to let it bleed into my gameplay commentary and all that kind of thing, because I just, you know, it's one of those things where if you let yourself kind of percolate over, you know, reduced views and less subscriptions and your channel starting to do badly, it gets into your head, and you know, your videos become worse, and you know, you're not as entertaining and things because you're feeling down, and there's you know, it's a bit of a dangerous downward spiral, which I'm trying to keep out of the. Yeah, I'm trying to keep it out of the videos as best I can. So you know, I'll talk about that a little bit here in this video, just to kind of explain to you guys like my anxiety, my panic attacks, my thyroid problems basically, which involve a whole load of, you know, sleeping problems and etc etc etc. It's fairly bad at the moment. It's not debilitating, but I'm definitely spending a lot less time outside. You know, I'm focusing on my videos, on streaming a lot more. And I'm basically all work all the time at the moment, aside from an occasional, like, and I have been for like the last 6 months probably. So I'm not doing any socializing. I have a tendency to like just avoid going out and seeing and talking to people, and you know, that kind of shit can get in your head. So you know, if I do seem down, and people have commented it on the comments on the videos and stuff, you know, like they will comment and basically be like, "Are you okay, dude? You don't sound that great." I'm like, I'm not that great to a certain extent, you know. I try to, and that's the thing, is like, it's so difficult to feel shit, you know, to feel a bit depressed and down when you're doing videos, because if you admit that, as good-natured and as well-meaning as people can feel, you know, it's still going to have a detrimental effect on your videos, because they're like, well, I didn't come here, you know, I've got my own problems, I didn't come here to be depressed. And it's like, well, yeah, no, that's why I wasn't talking about it, but you asked. So you know, all these things can be problematic, and you know, it's part of the reason why you don't talk about it. You know, you try to keep your videos entertaining and all that kind of thing. But yeah, I'm talking about it a little bit now, so you know, we'll see how that pans out, I guess. So aside from that obvious thing, I'm doing a channel update, which means we're going to be talking about different things. Now, one of the things I want to talk about is a new thing that I'm going to introduce to my channel, which I'm wondering how people will receive it. I imagine, you know, most of you guys who watch my channel regular, I know that you probably won't have a problem with it, but you know, it's the internet. People always have a problem with anything anyone does. You know, there's always going to be people who will just get pissed off because they feel like getting pissed off, like, even if they don't care. But basically, what I want to do is, well, after this big lead up, of course people are going to get pissed off. They're already prepared to work, yeah, anyway. Already prepared to work themselves up into a frenzy, froth-mouthed, you know, frenzy and go nuts. I want to introduce something called Save the Show, which is basically any series which I feel is not performing how I'd like it to. I'll give it a chance on my channel, and the chance will be, it will be titled Save the Show. It will be released at a decent time, and it will be, you know, if you want to keep watching it, if you want to keep seeing videos of it, watch the video, like, comment, all those kind of things, and it'll just be popping up when I feel like a series has either run its course, or I feel like the series has just, people have lost interest in it or whatever. You know, I run this channel by myself, and it's a lot of work. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's not as much work as, you know, other people's channels, like, dependent on the people and, you know, etc. But I'm doing multiple videos all the time. I'm still a very small YouTuber comparative to other people. So you know, the difference between me and other channels is, like, if my channel, you know, if I dip in views, it's really, really critical comparative to, you know, like, if you've got a larger YouTuber, you know, 100,000 subscribers, and every video he gets 5 to 10,000 views, you know, that's still decent progress all the time. You know, like, that's still something he can look at and go, like, this is pretty good. You know, for myself, at this moment in time, I'm not looking to get to, you know, 50,000 or 100,000 subscribers. You know, if I get there and I achieve my goal, great. All I'm trying to get to at the moment is, for most of my videos I release, to reach about 1,000 people every time. When I get there, I'll feel a lot more comfortable in being able to, you know, do this full time and keep it going. So that's my basic reasoning. Is if a series is dipping significantly, I'd love to be able to keep bringing you that series, but because I have a limited number of videos I can do a day, and because I have, you know, all of these different games I want to cover, and, you know, different things people want to see, I have to limit them down. You know, I have to put my foot down and go, like, if you know, like, for example, let's just take a very quick look. For example, I'm pretty sure my latest XCOM video did very badly, comparative to how I thought it was going to do. You know, and sometimes when you have a series, you know, if you stop doing the series, then you'll have, like, an increase in views. Not necessarily an increase, but people will watch it a lot quicker. It all depends how invested people are in the series. So if they're really invested in the series, you know, you release a video on it, like, you take a break for about a week, release a video on it, and people are back in it, and they're up for it, and they're interested. And sometimes, you know, yeah, I mean, I think it's been about a week or more, and it's just got very slightly over 100 views. Which, you know, like, one of the things I get a lot from people, one of the things people will say quite often to me is, how come you don't have more views? And, like, I know they're meaning it in like a positive and kind of, you know, complimentary way, but it does actually get to me a little bit, because, you know, that's like the little inner monologue that I have in my head when I look at my videos that are doing so badly. You know, like 100 people watching them, and people are like, you know, I get this comment, I'd say at least one a week, where someone will say to me, you know, the equivalent of, you have 24,000 subscribers, how is it you don't have more views? And some people will say, like, you know, how come you don't have more views and subs? This is really enjoyable, that kind of stuff. You know, it does mean a lot to me to hear people compliment my work and my effort. But at the same time, there's a little, it's you know, it's the anxiety, it's the depression, it's the thyroid problems, which are all one in the same. You know, they basically, like, they're repeating that same thing straight back to me. Like, dude, you know, why are you doing this series? You know, like, for example, why are you doing XCOM? Why are you doing XCOM 2? It's not getting any views. It's not worth doing. And I'm like, well, there are still people who want to watch it, you know. There are still people who enjoy it, so... But I think XCOM's going to be one of the save the shows, basically, because it's just not doing well at all. So yeah, that's one thing that I wanted to talk about, is basically save the show. I'm going to be doing videos where if a game isn't received well in like probably a few days, a week or so, you know, if it's in effect dead, like for example, like what happened to Stardew Valley. Like, Stardew Valley's gone now because no one wanted to watch it, basically. I think every video of Stardew Valley got to about 60 views and then just kind of stopped there. Yeah, 80. It's been a couple of weeks for Stardew Valley, but like 80 views, 90 views. Couldn't even break 100 on it. 64 views on that one. So, you know, it sometimes the game doesn't suit the channel, or for whatever reason, but you know, you just have to call it when you have to call it, basically is the way I see it. And this way, at least, I give you guys a chance to save it, and if you know, if you do watch it and do want to keep it going, but everyone else doesn't, I'm afraid that's just, you know, how it goes. So if you're like, well, I watched it at least, and it's like, unfortunately, the community, or whatever you'd like to call it, you know, they didn't have enough interest to keep it going, so it had to go. Which, you know, it'll be a shame for those of you who enjoy certain series and want to see them keep going, but I've got to do what's best for my channel, basically. You know, at the end of the day, if this works, and I kind of have a little bit of a boost in my channel and more people and new people and that kind of thing. Think of it this way, you know, for those of you who are upset if a series gets canned because it doesn't have enough interest in it, at the very least, it does mean I can keep making YouTube videos, because, you know, it's been 2+ years now, and it's starting to get to the point where, you know, I have to be like, okay, is this something that can be something that supports me? Because, you know, like, I can go into my whole background and illness and why I can't hold down a regular job or even a part-time job, you know, in another video. But in essence, you know, this is me doing YouTube because it's something that suits me, and it's also something that I can actually, one of the few things that I can actually do for work, you know, to earn a living, you know. And the question of whether I can do this is very important as to whether I can keep making videos. So that's the whole save the show thing that's being introduced. The other thing kind of goes hand in hand is that I'm trying to find ways to, I want to say, like, make myself feel better about carrying on with YouTube and everything like that. This isn't like an intention or a threat to quit or anything like that. I just have to make it a bit more viable. So what I'm doing, you know, like, I've been given multiple offers by all of these, you know, like G2A key selling shady places, which are like, oh, it's not exactly illegal, but it's kind of dodgy and shit like that. And I've always said no, because, you know, I'd never advocate things like that unless they were legit and above board and I was comfortable doing it. You know, I'd never run a sponsorship on some bullshit product that I didn't believe in. You know, like some people are sponsored by Audacity. Now, personally, I don't know anything about Audacity or whether it's good or bad. Not Audacity, Audible. Sorry, I said Audacity because I'm recording on Audacity right now. So, yeah, I don't know much about Audible. And, you know, I've never used it or anything like that. If they offered me a sponsorship deal to be like, hey, talk about Audible every now and then and we'll give you some money, I'd be like, well, you know, if I used it and I liked it, I'd be like, yeah, maybe. Aside from that, I'd be like, nah, fuck off. So, and because I don't use it or anything, if they did offer it to me, I'd be like, nah, fuck off. Uh, so yeah, basically, what I'm gonna be doing, this is me like severely beating around the bush right now, just FYI. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a Patreon. Any of you who would like to get in on that, I will put in a few bonus. I don't wanna do something. I don't wanna do like if you donate, if you subscribe or whatever for this much money a month, you get these bonuses. If you do this much for this much, you get these bonuses, and you can add me on Steam, and you can play games with me on certain sessions and stuff like that. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna set up a Patreon. And I've been thinking about this ever since Patreon became like a big thing on the internet. I've been considering a lot, and I've come to the conclusion like it's the best choice to keep going. It's the best choice if you want me to keep making videos and things like that. I've got to find a way to kind of earn some form of money, really. A lot of YouTubers, even big ones, say like, I make a lot less money than you think. I make pretty much fuck all money. I do make money on YouTube. I do get ad revenue. It is nowhere near enough to support even, any kind of lifestyle. It's nowhere near money. It's I don't want to talk exact figures or anything, but you could probably take a guess at how not very good the money I earn is, and maybe half it and half it again, and that's probably whereabout I am. But I don't earn any money on Twitch at all, and daily I will be doing 4 plus YouTube, let's say 4 average YouTube videos a day, and then a stream of usually at least 4 hours. And when you consider like how long it takes me to make my videos and encode and upload them, and then doing a 4-hour stream, I take breaks where I'll watch a little bit of, TV, or I'll watch like a TV show, or I'll watch like an anime, or I'll, spend about 10 minutes chatting with someone on Facebook or on Steam or Skype or whatever. But still, the majority of my day is doing YouTube videos and streaming, because, I'm wanting to make this work, and I'm wanting to make this, I'm wanting to get to the point where I'm comfortable earning enough money to make a living and making videos and streaming for you guys. And I think Patreon, will help get me there so I can keep going. So anyway, the things I'm thinking about is basically Patreon will be for my Twitch and for my YouTube. It's all inclusive. If you want to support either of them, that's great. I'm not going to separate my Twitch and Patreon. I'm not going to separate my Twitch and YouTube. It's going to be for both of them. So the things I'm thinking about doing is maybe having like a board game night type event where it will be a stream on Twitch, and we will play games like on Tabletop Simulator, play games on games like Space Food Truck and Gremlins Inc. FYI, there's a video for Gremlins Inc. out tonight. It's a pretty cool game. If you like board games, you might want to check it out. And yeah, that's just the basic idea here. Is I need to do something to feel like I'm making a change on my YouTube and on my Twitch to kind of. I feel like the current like status quo is not sufficient to keep going. I feel I'm a little bit anxious. I'm a little bit worried about the state that it's in. I mean, about a week ago, on one day, I lost over 50 subscribers in a day. Like, I wouldn't be worried about that, aside from the fact that, for the last couple of months, it's been very different to how it usually is. It's been like, for example, this month, I gained, I think it was 50% less subscribers than I gained the month before, and the month before I gained 50% less than the month before that. So clearly something is off here. I'm doing something wrong. I'm kind of, there's something that I've been doing recently is just not right, I guess, is the way I want to say it. And I feel like I have to do something to keep going and to kind of pull myself out of this funk of, like, Jesus, things are fairly dire at the moment. So this is what I'm going to do, basically, and we're going to see how it works, and hopefully it will make me feel a little less anxious, a little more comfortable. Hopefully you guys who, want to support the channel can support the channel. I know, I'm not going to say it's an experiment, but it's something I want to look into, and it's something I want to try and just find out how it works out, how it's received, and go from there. So yeah, but very basically, those are the two things, like, I really wanted to talk about. Just kind of explaining to those of you who wondered or worried or anything like that about, why I might be feeling a bit off, or, just you may have noticed it or whatever. I feel it's best to be honest with you guys and, kind of let you know what's going on with me to a certain extent. And just talk about Patreon, and hope you guys are good with it. We'll see how things go, I guess. And yeah, that's I mean, that's really, and I it's one of those things, I feel a little bit nervous about talking about these things, because it's a section I haven't had that much experience with. Kind of, I've never been much for donations on my Twitch channel. Whenever anyone donated, I'd be like, thank you, and I appreciate it, but there were never any, never any bonuses for donating. There's never any, like, there's never any incentive to donate. I never really even encouraged people to donate, because a lot of the time people would come in for, maybe a week or two because they really liked a particular stream that I did, and they'd keep coming for a bit, and then they'd lose interest. But those people coming in would be like, yes, I love this stream, it's so much fun, and it just happened to be a really fun stream for them, a game they really enjoyed or something. I don't want people coming into my channel on Twitch and being like, oh my god, this is so awesome, and then giving me, like, $20 and being like, that's awesome, I'm going to be here forever, and then disappearing like 2 weeks later and feeling depressed and upset that they gave money to a random dude for not much reason. So I don't know, we'll see how it all goes. I just, this is basically things that are going to be coming in, and I'll keep you up to date with, hopefully in the next month or more. I don't want it to be like a sudden, like, boom, Patreon, give me money, bitches. I'm going to have a proper thought about the things I can offer Patreons that are, that are good kind of thank you. That are good thank you. I'm not going to say rewards, because that sounds, a bit off from what I want to do, but basically a good way to say thank you for donating your money to keep the channel running and everything like that. But at the same time, you know, at the same time, pretty much just something that I can offer as thank you, but not something that people will be, oh, I really want to spend money to get that thing. You know, I don't want people going, oh, I want to spend money to be able to play a game with Sheepdog. Not that I think there's anyone who would do that, but it's something that I'm a little bit, you know, I wouldn't want that to happen, so I'm trying to avoid that kind of feeling. So anyway, well, I'll have a proper think about it, and it's something I've been vaguely considering for a while, and really considering for, you know, the past month or two. So anyway, there you go. That's the end of the video. Very rambly, very shitty, standard Sheepdog, pretty much. You saw the video where I got 6 kills and won the entire thing. And I swear to you, I only recorded 1 session before that. The reason I stopped it was because it lasted about a minute, because I touched down, got murdered in about 2 seconds, and I was like, well, that's not really worth putting in, so I'll do another one. So yeah, there you go. I guess I got lucky and had a good game. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really hope that you guys carry on watching my stuff. You know, I mean, I do my best to make entertaining videos, and I do my best to give you the content that you'd like to watch, and clearly I've gone a bit off the track somewhere, because, you know, the majority, and I doubt they'll even watch this video, but the majority of my subscribers at this point just seem to be subscribed because they're subscribed, and they don't tend to watch any of my videos, or a minimal amount of my videos at least. So I need to find a way to basically turn that around and start making content that that more of you are going to watch, or more of you are going to want to watch and are going to enjoy. So I'm going to be working on that along with everything else. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope this explains a little bit about what's been going on the channel and what's going to be going on. And yeah, at the end of the day, I will do a video on me a bit more, and maybe talk about, you know, some of the crap that goes on. Like, I'm tempted to do a kind of semi-comedy video about an average day in the life of Sheepdog, because it would be so boring, it's ridiculous. And, you know, it'd literally be like, I wake up, I have breakfast, or, you know, whatever time I wake up, have breakfast, do YouTube videos, have lunch, or the equivalent of lunch, and then stream until I pass out. So anyway, guys, that's of course omitting all the porn and everything. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Always helps me out a lot, although I doubt anyone is new here. And anyway, and I'll see you in the next one.